It's round 13 of the series before the summer break. We're in Budapest, Hungary for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So it's the last race before the summer break here in Hungary. Then we go on to a triple header when we return in a month's time in August. Belgium, Netherlands and Italy form part of the three races, the last ones in Europe. Then it's the flyaways again in Asia with Singapore and Japan as well in early October. A 2-week break before a double header, United States and Mexico. Another 2-week break, and then we go to Brazil, and the season rounds out the 20th of November in Abu Dhabi. And Fernando Alonso is rounding out the top 10. Further down the board, Kevin Magnussen is 11th, followed then by Daniel Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly, Sebastian Vettel, Mick Schumacher, Yuki Tsunoda, all in a very close fight. Zhou Guanyu is 17th, Lance Stroll is 18th, Alexander Albon, the last driver with points on 3, Nicholas Latifi and Nico Hulkenberg still no points. Latifi the biggest concern there. Red Bull Racing lead the way on 396 points in the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari on 314, Mercedes on their own in third on 270, Alpine of 93, McLaren 89, Alfa Romeo are just now ahead of Haas, who are now in a battle with AlphaTauri, Aston Martin 9th on 19, Williams are now 10th, still only on 3 points. It's the 2022 Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring, and this is first practice. Let's take a look around this Hungaroring circuit here in Budapest, a 2.738 mile circuit, 14 turns and only one DRS zone down the start-finish straight. It's tight and twisty, described as Monaco without the barriers. On board with the Alpine then, that storm to victory here last year. Head down towards turn number 1, over 300 kilometers an hour in 8th gear, flat out with the DRS open. In towards turn number 1, a heavy braking zone, flick the car into the right, a double apex. DRS open again then as you run down towards turn number 2. It's downhill under the bridge as well. Triple apex second corner. It's easy for the car to ease out wide. Let it. It doesn't destroy the tyres. Through turn 3, 6th gear, rise up, 7th gear, the top of the hill before turn 4. Flick it in, 5th gear corner. Then at turn 5, it's a 4th gear corner. Drop down again, rise up the hill. The track narrows down as well as you come in towards turn 6 and 7. 3rd gear corner, very tight chicane, absolutely single file. Through the Mickey Mouse section now at 8, 9 and 10. 4th gear, 5th gear, then back up into 6th gear as well as you're continuing to rise up the pressure as well. Try not to let the car go too wide here at the exit at turn 9. Don't go all wheels off the road. Drop down then, once again out of turn 11. Now it's to move into turn 12, 3rd gear corner. Back up the accelerator, sort of right about 180 kilometers an hour. Round turn 13, a long sweeping double apex left-hander. Turn 14, quite like the Nürburgring here as well. A long sweeping right with a double apex hairpin. Back onto the start-finish line, and that is a lap of the Hungaroring in Budapest, Hungary. Hello everybody and welcome to the first practice session for the 2022 Hungarian Grand Prix. This is it then, the anticipation is beginning to rise, the atmosphere is up as well, and we cannot wait to get started at the Hungaroring in Budapest, a 2.72 mile circuit, 3 sectors in total as well. 199.8 miles an hour is the top speed, that's 321.6 kilometers. 34.6 meter is the elevation change around this circuit as well. Pirelli have brought, as usual, their soft, medium and hard compound, but once again, like at the French Grand Prix, the middling round of compound, hard C2, medium C3, soft is the C4 tyres as well. And the anticipation is building right now as well. Track temperature is up. That is at 30. So track temperature is at 56 degrees. Air temperature at 32 degrees as well. It's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of anticipation, but we're getting ready for a great one here. 29% humidity, 2.1 kilometers an hour, the wind blowing in from the north as well. We're gearing up for the first practice session, and right now I know we've got slightly different looking timings as well. That's because at the moment the timing website isn't actually on, so we've actually got a built up timing screen which actually makes the difference. But still, we're all set. The fans are in. Many of them have been packed in since the Formula 3 practice session this morning as well. We've had Formula 2 and W Series, so actually F1 in the afternoon is the last of the practice sessions to get underway. It's the beginning of a very big weekend for us here on the YouTube channel. 7 series will be commentated on across Formula 1, Formula 2, Formula 3, W Series, British Touring Car Championship, IndyCar, and of course Formula E from London. Now, how that's going to work is that we're broadcasting all of Formula E this weekend as well across the practice sessions, as it's a British Grand Prix round, so you can join us for that as well. Track temperature's looking quite good out there as well. A lot of anticipation as to see who's going to be first out on the circuit, and as if by magic, walking into the commentary box is Megan Birch, but we're going to hear from Ted Kravitz, who's down in the pits. Good afternoon, Ted.
I'm assuming you brought some sensible shoes and you're keeping a close eye on what's going on down there.
Yes,
we can see
let's
you
talk
actually.
about that later, Rachel, because we need to get straight to this rear wing before the Aston Martins go out. So look at this rear wing end plate. Now this potentially, I think, is game-changing. So remember when they changed the rules this year, they mandated that they have these sort of curvy, like a melted wham bar rear wings that allowed loads of air to spill out over and make these cars easier to follow each other and actually race. Now Aston Martin have turned up here this morning with a different interpretation of the rear wing, those little armchair rear wing end plates that effectively mimic last year's rear wing with a higher downforce. So obviously, look at it, it obviously squares out the end plates. Now I wanted to get it to it quickly so that you could see it, because unsurprisingly, both Aston Martins want to get out pronto to see if this new rear wing works. So it's like a 2021 rear wing. I absolutely love it. It catches more air. It stops the spillover of air from that rear wing main plane out to be lost and not worked by a rear wing to do any kind of downforce generation that we've seen on every other cars, to stop the outwash, to stop the spillover, and to regain a lot of the downforce they lost since last year's rear wing. So that's what it does. Now, is it legal? Well, all the other teams, of course, as you would imagine, say that it's not the FIA's intention of what they wanted these new rear wing rules to do. But the Aston Martin say that they have consulted with the FIA throughout the rear wings development and had it approved at every stage. But you know, good on them. Rachel, good on Aston Martin for being the first to think about it and to be the first to get it made. Sorry, go on, yes.
Well, no, I was just wondering, where do you think it might fall foul if it did? I mean, what can you see that you think is pushing the boundaries, perhaps?
So, the armchair rear wing end plate. Can you imagine the comfy arms of a rollover, the rollover arms of an armchair? So that's what it looks like to me. So if it does get a name, and these things tend to get a name in Formula One, the armchair rear wing end plate. So everybody else, the rules say that the main plane of the rear wing has to have a certain curvature. But it doesn't say where that curvature, it doesn't specifically say where that curvature has to be. Now, everybody else has, of course, said, well, that curvature would be on the outer edge of the rear wing, right? And it would go from the main plane, it would curve round, and then become the rear wing end plate, like everybody else's does. Oh, no, say Aston Martin. You never said where that curvature needs to be. So we've satisfied the curvature rule with that little armchair rollover bit. You see what I mean? Where you saw earlier, or like a sort of thick sausage.
Okay, thank you, Ted.
We've satisfied your curvature rule. It's just that you didn't say that we could put it a bit higher up the rear wing and then create ourselves what looks like a 2021 rear wing with all the great downforce that will inevitably bring.
Thanks, Ted. And Alpine have got something new on their car as well, by the look of it, with Fernando Alonso. They've got great big grates along the side of the car there, Megs. They look very experimental, don't they?
It does. Though, to be honest, they've got to have something else on that car, because we've seen inside of the... I always know what this is called, but now I can't remember.
Side pod,
that.
I was wondering where you go with that one.
Just like a complete blank on what a side pod was for a sec. Though we've seen that and it looks quite empty. Though still got a little bit of things in there. It's just like for decoration. So we've got to have something else.
Vettel going out there as well. Hopefully we're going to have the lap time working at the same point. We'll adjust that graphic as it goes. But we see the driver tracker working as well. Good morning, good evening to Australia now. Good evening to Gwenwyn as well over there in Australia. Well done for staying up or getting up for a practice session. Green light is on the end of the pit lane. As you can see, all the cars are heading out there. The last race before the summer break as well. And this could be Megan Birch, who is with us, not for the race, but across practice one as per normal and across leading qualifying. We're in for a busy this weekend, this one, aren't we?
I think it will be quite busy, and I wonder if there'll be any crashes, because this corner right now,
The last one, yeah, 10-13, yeah.
that's going to cause some problems.
Yeah.
Because it's a downhill, and it's quite tight corners.
Yeah, it's not one I like a lot. The driver track is struggling actually to keep up because we've got a whole gaggle of cars coming round turn 13 and 14 now. Gasly's there as well. There's Fernando Alonso just all trying to do a prep lap. They don't know if it's going to rain, of course, tomorrow for qualifying. So they're all sort of going out there now and thinking, okay, we'll get it done and see what could happen. But it's all getting a bit of a mess out there as Alonso starts a lap time.
Yeah, and for some reason he was going very slow. I mean, I get he was gearing up, but still, that was like a snail's pace. A little bit of a wobble there as well.
Tell you one thing as well, the start lights here are on the end of a pole that is literally just sort of strung out across the track.
Well, that's efficient.
Yeah, but the lights, the weight of the lights this year have changed, so they're heavier. And I just noticed on that back straightaway, the lights being on it, it's the metal pole, it started to dip a little bit. So it's like it's almost being weighed
Let's hope
down.
it's not go, don't go.
Yeah, go, lights out, down. Yeah, literally, lights off, and away we go.
We've got already got a yellow. For a minute, I thought that was actually what was happening. Because I saw a yellow stuck to one. I was like, please don't actually be the lights.
Oh no, another yellow coming out there as well as we keep an eye out on the timing screens. It's Danny Ricciardo who's top at the moment, then, as you can see on your boards, as we just try and get this graphic working correctly for you all. Back at home, because it shouldn't actually be that difficult to get this new graphic working for this first session. There we go. So
it's Fernando Alonso's 41st birthday.
45th? Are you aging him up?
No, I forgot how to say 41.
Fernando Alonso, yep, his 41st birthday in Formula One, and he still hasn't retired from the sport.
He's picking up Seb's years.
Yeah, literally, Seb retiring as well. This is the rear wing of the Aston Martin, and that looks more like last year's rear wing, doesn't it, than it does this year. That was Alonso actually going a little bit too deep out there, getting caught up behind the back.
Fernando, I know it's your birthday, but please don't try and take people off.
Literally, you're having a major contact there.
Yeah. Try to come in.
Well, we were backing ourselves up there on the Discord call.
That was creepy.
Yeah, I think I need to hit deafen. There we go. I've hit deafen.
I just heard my voice over and over again.
Well, radio.
Just check. You're happy with the PU. A little bit of a strange noise coming from the turbo as I lift off. Almost like a whistling sound. Understood.
Yeah, you're so in tune with the...
So George Russell's complaining he's got a whistling sound on the turbo.
They won't
That's
listen.
not great news. No, they won't. They never did. I mean, did they pit him last time out in the French Grand Prix? No,
I
they did
feel
not.
like George fends for himself.
Yeah. Now, everybody's will probably be wondering as well, considering we said you're not going to do another race until the Belgian Grand Prix. That is only because...
I'm not doing a race.
You're doing every other session because race day...
I'm busy.
Yes, while I'm commentating on Formula One's Hungarian Grand Prix...
Blue Harvest 9 is correct. The Blue Harvest 9. Albon now 3 seconds.
Blue Harvest. That's the code name for Return of the Jedi, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, so while I'm commentating on the Hungarian Grand Prix with Josh Plays and,
New Hope, I can't remember which.
and a very special guest will be joining me in the commentary box as well, as Ian Birch and Megan Birch will be commentating on Formula E London Race 2. You looking forward to that?
I'm intrigued by it.
You've got to call lights out and lead the comms. Anyway, let's go down to Ted. He's in the pits.
Well, I understand Formula E, so it's fine.
Practice 1 coming up later, live. That's going to be fun.
To the front wing and to the side pod entry. So the entry into the tunnels, into the Venturi underneath the car, the Venturi tunnels that create a lot of the ground effect downforce for this year. But this is the first time they've actually wanted to measure it in the last few races. So Sergio Perez has had this huge aero rake. You can see the mechanics sort of struggling to de-rig and get rid of now.
I had a lot of
Just to
oscillations.
measure how that flow is, how that airflow is going into that critical area of the side pods and the tunnels. So yeah, just ahead of the summer break, even though the aerodynamicists are going to have to shut everything down, doesn't mean they can't download some stuff onto their computers and just sort of work from home on stuff, even though I think they're not allowed to log on to the network, are they, Anthony? There has to be a sort of system shutdown. But if you've got some aero information,
Yeah, you're right, Ted.
if you've got some aero information and you're that way inclined as an aero engineer, you could spend your holiday just looking through your own data if you want. And that's why a lot of teams are sort of aero gathering data at the moment.
Thanks, Ted. And you were saying, Ant, as well.
Thank you, Ted. We've got information that the driver tracker isn't working, but our timings should be working if we hit refresh on the document page. So this could either go very well or very badly. Hey! We've got some timing, which is great news, so we'll just switch that off for you as well back home, and hopefully we're not going to have too many errors as well. We've got some radio.
Didn't expect.
Yeah, radio.
I don't know where. Didn't expect.
And as the field come back around anyway, there's our complete timing screen finally working again with the driver tracker. So we've got Sainz on top as well. We've got Ricciardo second, Verstappen third, Leclerc fourth on the board. Ocon is fifth, Albon sixth, Hamilton seventh, Russell eighth, ninth for Alonso, 10th for Tsunoda. So apparently Robbie Kubica's in this session. Yes, he is. Here he is. Well, that was a very late change because we never got told about Robbie Kubica being in.
No.
But once again, it looks like he's in
Subbing for
place for Valtteri Bottas. Yeah, bang on, mate.
I just have a feeling it does go promote.
All right, well, it's okay. Watch for Stroll finishing a push. Stroll right
I think
now.
he's taking advantage of the you can give up your car rule. Because that's 2 in a row.
Well, to be fair, you can only give it your car a total of... Well, you have to give it to a rookie at some point in the season. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Robert Kubica...
Robert is definitely not a rookie.
Yeah, he's kind of the complete polar opposite of what a rookie was. So, yeah. Not great there. As what's happened to our timing towers? Literally got no clue what's happening to our timing towers right now. Everything seems to have been moved around and messed up. And
It's Friday. What do you expect?
I know, but I don't like my things being moved up and messed up as well. It literally looks like there's been a problem and we can't detect what it is. Okay, anyway, here's what we commit to then while we do. Oh, look, screen recording failure for the Discord stream as well.
Welcome to Friday.
Everything is going wrong once again. But anyway, Leclerc's top by a 120. What is it? A 1? I can't tell. 120.225 as Kubica's on it. Oh no, it stopped again. If anybody knows why he keeps doing this, let us know at our
It's evil.
Yeah, let us know at our computer doesn't like us. .youtube.com. There we go again. Look, you can see as we flash back. Has it disconnected again?
Yes.
Oh my god. Might be the camera though. No.
Verstappen's just done 120 to 07, is it?
122.43.
How the hell does that make sense?
Then they degrade.
Look,
Yeah, I can see.
it says 100ths and 8,000.
It's actually it's more than it looks, isn't it? Yeah.
And then there it's just like a complete opposite. Also, I noticed I was going down instead of up. But still, that's not correct.
Okay, copy that.
So our driver tracker is back. Hey, but why all of a sudden this is not working? I have no idea. So I'm
Maybe lock the diff a bit. Tell me if the diff there is having an effect.
That's Sainz on the radio then. So he's not having too much fun out there. I don't think we're having too much fun up in the comms box. It is quite a usual. It's a usual day, isn't it, Megs?
Yes, very tiring.
Right, we're just getting that all set up now and seeing what's happening.
Why am I tired?
Not a clue. Okay, so we've corrected that error And we now have to copy and paste that to the other timing screens.
Oh, those great things on the front of the cars during practice sessions. I hate them.
Do you like anything?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Like?
The rear rings
Yeah, there's just not the grip. I mean, I feel I'm
of Aston Martin.
not driving too bad, so
Yep, again,
I don't
I
know
think
why
your
the pace is so off.
I like the
pace
Ferrari
that you
Okay, you like the Ferrari?
and the Aston Martin.
Fair dues. Right. There we go. Everything seems to be working. So keep your fingers crossed, everybody, that it continues to do so. Current tyres then. Leclerc is out there on the softs. So is Verstappen and Sainz. Ricciardo is out there on medium compound tyres, but I think it's just coming to the pit lane. So is Sainz and Verstappen as well. Ocon on medium, Hamilton hard, Russell hard, Albon medium. Hards for Alonso, Tsunoda, Gasly, Schumacher, Magnussen, Latifi, Kubica, Vettel, Stroll. Perez is out there on a set of softs. Norris is on mediums, and Zhou's on hards as well. That's as much data we've got at the moment up here in the comms box as we've prepared our timing screens. Here is Sergio Perez down there as well. Let's take...
But the rear was moving a lot, to be fair. We can try double cool. I'm not sure about the flap adjust.
Okay, mate.
Not sure about the flap adjust. Let's take a look at the YouTube chat for the first time today. Good evening, everybody. As well, Australia now says, who are you picking for Vettel's replacement? Gromit, I picked Scott McLaughlin, if you know. Yeah, nice pick. No, I think I know who will be Sebastian's replacement because I heard it back in Imola.
Who?
It'll be Mick Schumacher.
Yeah, but who will replace Mick? De Vries?
Oscar Piastri. I think Danny Ricciardo will be kicked out of F1, to be fair. But
Let's hope he's not.
I'm 90% certain Mick Schumacher will replace him. From what I've heard this morning as well.
Even Seb said it.
Yeah, Seb said it this morning. And from what I've been hearing this morning as well, it seems like Mick, this was a done deal from earlier on in the season. So I think as well, because we heard back in Imola, the rumour was at the end of the summer break.
Stopping power into one feels very weak.
Yeah, at the end of the summer break, Seb would announce his retirement from Formula One. He'll go to Haas to give them development, and Mick will go to Aston. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen, but I think we've now got Vettel retiring, which we've been talking about since Imola, when I found out this news from paddock sources. And then we got this now that Mick looks like he's in the prime candidacy to go to the team.
Well, he has been doing really well recently.
He has. Double points finishes in a couple of races. Let's take a look. In the championship, he scored points in Silverstone, Austria, and the French Grand Prix. So, yeah. As we see on the board, 45 minutes to go. So, yeah, as we got through earlier, because never got through, Megan is commentating on practice one. Then she'll be back for qualifying with Ian Birch. So you're leading a wet qualifying, Megan, which I'm very jealous about. I'd rather be covering qualifying.
Tsunoda's backed out as well. No threats behind.
I did give her the option, do you want to commentate on the Formula E both races? And she says no. So I'm doing race one of Formula E, Megan's doing race two, which is fair.
I can only handle one.
I give up one race, but I'm not giving up two. So that's that. And then you, Megan, are commentating on the F1 qualifying with Dad. Then you're doing the F2 sprint race while I'm doing IndyCar. And then you're going to bring me my headset back.
I bet my head's going to explode.
Then you're going to bring me my headset back for the remainder of IndyCar, because I'm going to have to use the backup headset that Dad uses as well.
My head's going to explode by the end of this.
Your head's going to explode. I've got no idea how I'm going to handle this weekend.
You will.
Leclerc goes top 119.863, and for comparison, the lap attack that I did on the F1 2021 game as well, that lap time was a 119.9. So
Verstappen ahead of you is pushing now, so he should pull away.
Yeah.
So you're okay to carry on pushing, leaning on the car. Just watch the curbs, exit of 9.
Let's see. Do you reckon we can get this on before it disappears again? I bet you we won't be able to if I go to the max screen, which is currently showing all of this. Oh, look, there we are. Hello. It's not what I wanted. I wanted this to take a look at the development window. Here we go.
Woo!
So this is the development window for Ferrari. Red Bull are 4 thousandths of a second faster, now 5 thousandths. Mercedes are 15 thousandths. McLaren 28 thousandths. So they've gained 0.2 of a second. Alpine have lost a tenth of a second.
Alfa Romeo are the worst.
Haas have gained it, but yeah, AlphaTauri's lost 7 thousandths. AlphaTauri's lost 7 thousandths. Alfa Romeo, as you can see on your screens, 0.4 of a second lost. Aston have gained 5 tenths. Williams have gained a tenth. But Megan, Alfa Romeo are the worst of the bunch there.
They really are the worst of the bunch with the seconds gained and lost. Though Aston Martin has gone up even more ever since they made that change to the rear wing.
Yeah, they have. They really, really have ever since they've changed that rear wing already. And that was just this race as well. So if that's gaining 0.5 of a second this race, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I love how we can show things like that, but we don't get told when they come up, so we have to hurriedly get the screen grab up as well to put it on in order to see what the difference is between the two. Max Verstappen is 9 thousandths of a second down at the moment as well. Hello to Josh, who says, no, that's the camera angle I see when I'm in any exterior to co-com in the comms box. Yeah, that camera angle that you just saw on the screen, that's what Josh Plays sees as well, because we don't have to share our screen with Josh because he's watching live TV pictures same as us. So that's how he views me and Megan in the commentary box for live action as well. So that camera angle is what you see because it's coming off the laptop.
Yeah, copy.
Face.
Rear is not so stable.
Copy, Joe.
Grenwin's made a great point here. I'd like to see Mick to I'm going to try this again because we're going down to Ted at Haas.
The scrutineer just gets in our way, and they've got they've essentially gone Ferrari Babybel on the engine cover, Rachel. So that's the biggest change, the biggest visual change. Tell me if you can see as much as you can at the moment.
We are seeing pictures, Ted. Yeah.
We can see the Haas of the side pod.
They're revised side pods, more aggressive.
If that mechanic
curved
can move out
shape
of the way.
in the middle of it, the like we've seen with the Ferrari, and they
shot we're
haven't
getting is a
changed.
cleaning
They've
product
got
being
a
wiped on
new
the car.
floor as well. So that's the crucial
now
thing.
that
It's
we've
an
moved
absolutely
away,
brand new
yay,
floor with
fancy.
these very, very aggressive ground effect Venturi tunnels towards the just in front of the rear tyre. You can't see it on this shot with all the bodywork taken off it. The rear wing is the same, but there are some rear tyre some rear brake duct winglet updates as well. So what I like to call the Cascade winglet. So it's a really impressive package of upgrades actually. And so well done Haas. We'll see how it goes for them.
Thanks, Ted. And yes, when you say it's brand new, it really is brand new because I've got the list of the upgrades here that I've got via my phone that the FIA sent us this morning for the media. Floor body has been changed as well. The main underbody and diffuser have changed substantially in the airflow area. Floor fences as well for performance, for flow conditioning. That has changed as well. The fences are to act better conditioning flow development in the updated upper body. The floor edge has changed, so the geometric changes are necessary to better conditioning edge flows, which interact with the updated underbody of the car. The coke/engine cover, that's been changed as well for local load. The evolution of the form allows us to better manage the flow incident of the downforce producing elements to the rear. The cooling louvers has been changed, and the louvers of the new bodywork are better distributed to avoid unfavourable interaction of the cooling flow with the downforce producing elements of the rear. The rear suspension has been changed as well. The rear ring suspension's fairings are necessary to best align to the onset flows conditioned by the new bodywork upstream as well. Better conditions flow feeding the rear corners and the beam wing, of course, and the rear corner has been changed for performance load, and they've described it as the new rear brake duct lip reduces flow losses incident to the winglets which lie behind it. The improved flow to the winglets has allowed evolution of the profiles to increase load and better manage their wake interaction with the rear wing. That is Haas's changes as well. Mercedes have brought a couple of updates here to the halo as well. They've put a new slant to the front halo fairing. They've got a new rear wing tips and a new beam wing as well. Red Bull have only brought one upgrade to this race, Megan. That's a new beam wing as well to accompany the upper rear wing elements as well. And that's typically selected for the Hungarian Grand Prix because of the low ride heights here. McLaren have brought a new front corner and a new rear diffuser, and the flow conditioning surfaces have been added to the underside of the floor to improve local flow structures across the operating range. Alpine have brought a new beam wing, the same as everybody else. AlphaTauri, a new rear wing end plate as well, which is typical for this race. Alfa Romeo have brought a new floor body as well. The redesigned floor featuring updated elements and a reprofiled main body generates more downforce while only marginally increasing drag, which should give a general performance advantage. We've already talked about Haas, and the last one is Aston Martin, who brought a brand new rear wing. This wing is our maximum downforce wing to suit the low efficiency circuit characteristics of this event. It does this by increasing rear wing load. That is all of the updates that have been brought here to the car this weekend as Max Verstappen comes out of the last corner. He's slow in the first sector, green in the second sector, and he's purple in the third sector. It's a 1:19.670. He's still 2/10 down, though, on Charles Leclerc's overall time. Let's take a look then at the YouTube chat. Graham says, I'd like to see Mick and I can't do it because it's AMR. It's not twigging with me.
Can I try?
Yeah.
I'd like to see Mick in
See?
yeah, it is really
Aston
difficult.
Martin. I'd like to see Mick and Aston Martin, Piastri to Haas, and Poitier to Williams. That's a good one.
It's because you say Mick and then you just...
Yeah, I know. I think Oscar will miss out, says Australia now. Graham says, but like you said, Josh, dominoes will fall far messy if McLaren does something to Danny Rick. Yeah, if Danny Rick leaves McLaren, everything's going to get messy.
We have no Australians.
Yeah, everything's going to get messy. But also, Haas is trying more American/NA, if I'm correct. So we might see something else there if they get Logan Sargent. Yeah, that's a good possibility as well. And I agree with Josh, it is a great system. Okay, I'm going to load up some interviews now, and I think we should really start, Megan, with the man who announced his retirement from Formula One yesterday, Sebastian Vettel.
Yesterday was full of surprises.
It really was full of just surprises, wasn't it? Do you reckon it was something that we knew was coming?
Yes.
So, how do you feel about it? Because I haven't actually talked about how
I think he'll come back one day.
Really? You think he's not just gone, he's coming back at some point?
Yeah. Seb strikes me as a person that I know he wants to spend time with his family, though how old is he?
35.
35.
Double checking.
I think when his kids are a little bit older, he'll come back.
He was born the 3rd of the 7th, 1987. So Kellyanne is older than Sebastian Vettel, and Kellyanne hasn't retired.
Exactly.
She may want to half the time, but she hasn't as well. Let's hear from him now. It's a 3-minute interview, so it was a long one because of Sebastian Vettel retiring. So sit back and relax because let's hear what he had to say talking to Ted Kravitz.
Yeah, happy to. Happier than ever.
It's a big thing, Seb. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
When did you make your mind up?
When?
When, yeah.
Well, it's the last years is the truth. I think it's not one question you ask yourself and then you find an answer and that's it. I know and I understood, I think, very early that it's a sort of life-changing decision. How life-changing is very difficult to grasp because I'm turning around the next corner and don't know what's waiting. But that's true probably for any athlete, no matter your sport, whether you choose to or whether you are pushed in a position due to injury or external factors. Something that we all face at some point. To me, it feels like the right point at this stage. And
Still quite young,
it's
though.
many. Yeah, it's true, and I don't feel, it's not like I feel old or I feel physically limited to do what I have to do. But it's a whole bunch of things, and I know how much you can, dedicate to this sport and how intense it can be. And then it means as well that there's not much room for other things, and it's the other things that I can't ignore anymore, and they are growing. Literally, I have children; they are getting taller and bigger and stronger in their heads and in their minds. So yeah, things that I don't want to ignore and want to look after. So ultimately, I'm in front of the choice what to do, and you know the answer now.
Yeah, well, you're always a man in motion, aren't you? And there's hope and optimism for life after F1. I mean, it's a brave decision. A lot of us, you know, just hang around in F1 because it's just the life we know, and it often takes a bit of bravery to step off the hamster wheel. So what do you think's next?
Yeah, lots of things, lots of ideas. I mean, I have lots of interests that some are very close to racing, and maybe, you know, they will take a more room in the future, and some have nothing to do with racing. Yeah, you know, I think it's one thing is what we do, and the other thing is probably who we really are. And you know, as much as people know me and you know me and we know each other, there's elements that I don't know about you and you don't know about me. So yeah, the answer probably is it's a little bit unknown, and because even though you have these plans and so on, there's no guarantee that they will all work and make me happy. I'm also aware of the fact that, you know, it's a big adrenaline rush, standing on the grid, the lights go off. I won't have that anymore. So I'll see how that feels. For sure, there's, you know, maybe the possibility to race other things in this world. But yeah, I'm not stepping out of this car and thinking of stepping into another straight away. That's not the decision I took, and not the way I feel I want to take that decision. So yeah, let's see. But I'm excited, and we will see how it goes.
Yeah, I think everybody is looking forward to seeing how it goes for Sebastian Vettel as well. I know personally I'm going to miss him a lot as well. He's been a character in Formula One for 15 years. I still remember he's the only driver to get a penalty 15 seconds into his Formula One career coming out as well. Ted's down at Aston Martin.
Works. There aren't any aero rakes that I can see. I'm sure they'll have some pressure loadings on to see what's going on. We have the official description of how the update works. All the teams do this. That's an FIA document. So it is circuit specific to Budapest, although I suppose they could have it for Monaco as well if it remains legal and everything doesn't change for next year. It's a new rear wing end plate and associated changes to the rear wing and the end plate. And it says, this wing is our maximum downforce wing to suit the low efficiency circuit characteristics. At the Hungaroring, it does this by increasing rear wing load. Well, so I think we've definitely established that by the looks of it, it's going to increase rear wing load, and that they seem to be admitting there, Aston Martin, that it is not particularly efficient. So it will be adding drag compared to the other rear wings that they've run up until this point all season. But yeah, I'm just, I mean, have you seen anything on speed traces or on speed traps on sector times or on best speeds, Johnny, Anthony, that might see whether the drag is
well, I haven't seen anything as Hamilton goes forth
for any downforce that I guess we'll find out later how much it actually gives when we talk to the team.
But like you said at the start of FP1, Ted, you just throw the downforce on around this track.
Well, yeah, you don't need much. This is a low downforce circuit as Russell jumps to second to prove my point. 119.606. He's a tenth quicker there as well. But this is a low downforce circuit. You don't need much in order to success here as well. If it rains, this track becomes fantastic as a great equalizer because it just doesn't need it. It don't need anything.
Does. And also, do you reckon that Mercedes are finally getting the groove back?
Yes, I really think that as well. This is this is George Russell down to turn one. Now, let's hear him on the radio. I suspect, I'm not going to say that.
He's got proposing.
Yes. I was going to say something about something that was in the news recently. You could already guess. I'm not going to say it. Anyway, as he comes up towards the top of turn 4 as well, just runs it wide. A lot of sparks flying as well. But yeah, Sebastian Vettel retiring as well. We're going to miss him. His last Grand Prix will be his 300th Grand Prix start in Formula 1. But it's like, come on, Seb. Really? Did it have to be now?
Does he really have to probably clash out?
Oh, I know. 300 Grand Prix. No driver,
apart from Lewis,
has finished a 300th Grand Prix. And also, every world champion is retired from Formula 1
on their last.
Have failed to finish their last race. Don't go at me and say, oh, but Fernando Alonso retired and he finished the race.
He's back, though.
He came back. Jenson Button, Kimi Raikkonen, all failed to finish. In the new era of Formula 1 cars, the world champion has failed to finish the last race when retiring.
Exactly.
I think the last driver to actually finish a race without retiring was Michael Schumacher.
Massa.
Massa was never world champion.
He should have been.
And he retired in the last race.
But
Jensen even retired in his last Grand Prix, Monaco 2017. He crashed.
Massa should have been a world champion.
Button crashed with Verline in 2017.
loved it.
Oh dear. Hang on a second. Somebody's... Josh, get rid of them. Josh, get rid of them. There we go. How on earth? We've got a problem with our chat at the moment. Cheers, Josh. Joey says Nico Rosberg. Oh, Joey, you brilliant. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Joey,
He's a
you-
world...
yeah,
Because he
Joey's on
was
it.
world champion the
In
day.
the last race, yeah. So Nico Rosberg is last time. Joey is on it. He's reminding us in the comp box right now. Thank you, Joey. Yeah, so Nico Rosberg was the last one to leave because he was world champion.
So 6 years ago.
Yeah. So 6 years ago was the last time because he was world champion and never came back.
He was
So-
just like, I'm not risking it anymore.
Does that does count? He retired as world champion as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay. It was Nico Rosberg then. Love that reaction. You're welcome. Thanks for the content. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for giving us that, because that's what the chat room's all for as well, trying to find things as well. And apologies for the bots that were cropping up there as well. They tend to appear these days, don't they, as well. But always, in fact, I think there's a couple of them. Popping up. Thanks, Josh. Josh plays right on it as well, because I can't get to that quite quick. Okay, let's have a look at Kevin Magnussen then. Last 5 races as well. He DNF'd in Azerbaijan. He was 17th in Canada, 10th in Silverstone, 9th in 8th in Austria.
Oh, a
and
bit of an off there
that's
for
Mickey
Mick.
going off the track again at turn 3, just running wide again for the top of the hill at turn 4. He's okay though. Russell's doing well, actually, getting up there as well. Gwenwyn says, I'm going to go over to the chat now and just ignore the obvious bots. That everyone just needs to sort of spam that to just get rid of them off the screen. Gwenwyn says, 11 of 21 Grand Prix are in Europe. Get 3 out and distribute it around the world. Love to see 1 in Africa, another in South America, or 2 or 1 in South Africa, and 1 Asian race added as well.
Do we actually have any in South Africa?
Next year. And the problem is, we can say get rid of some of the European races, but some of the European races are actually quite classical races that
Exactly,
need
and
to
they're
be
good.
run. Yeah. Ideally, I'd get rid of Miami because I don't think Miami works. So, get rid of Miami. Get rid of Paul Ricard. So there's one of you Europeans, because although Paul Ricard was good, 9 times out of 10 it gives us a bad
has its
race.
moments.
Yeah. Get rid of Paul Ricard. 1 more race in Europe to get rid of. Can't think. Oh, we've got a calendar book in front of us.
I love what Josh is doing, look.
Josh, legend again. So let's go through. Let's start off at the start of the year, shall we? Bahrain. Got to keep Bahrain. That's a great season opener now as well into the lights. Always been a great race since it turned into a desert. Jeddah. Well, we can get rid of that, can't we? So
Yeah.
Get your fingers out, Megs. That's 1. So get rid of Jeddah. Melbourne. Actually, that was all right this
We
year.
like the Australian
Yeah, we
one.
like
and
Australia,
it gives Australian fans a chance to actually watch it during the day.
Imola. We like Imola. Imola was a good race. Miami, 2. Barcelona, 3. Get rid of the Spanish Grand Prix. May have been there, may have loved the city and the circuit and the track itself, but it gives us a boring race.
Yeah, it's really boring.
Monaco, it was actually decent this year, so put it up. Baku, decent. Oh no, did you put it up there? Sorry, keep it down. So
I was
still
going to
at
say,
3.
I was like, it's decent, but you want to get rid of it?
What have we said so far? Jeddah,
Miami.
Barcelona, 3. Baku we like, so stay there. Monaco got to keep. Montreal's good. Silverstone, can't get rid of Silverstone. Red Bull winner is great. Paul Ricard, put it up. So that's 4. Hungaroring here. 9 times out of 10 it's an okay circuit, but it could be boring. Put it on the list. I could live without the Hungaroring. Spa, can't live out of. Zandvoort, boring circuit. Put it up, put it somewhere else. It doesn't work at the track, but great atmosphere as well. So if they put it somewhere else, I'm sure the Dutch fans will go there. Monza got to stay. Sochi's already off the calendar. Marina Bay's brilliant. Suzuka's brilliant. Kota's brilliant as well. Mexico is okay. Keep it on the list. Interlagos is brilliant. Yas Marina's a bit boring. Put it on the list. How many does that give us, Megs?
7.
So out of the 22 races on this year's calendar, 7 races we could get rid of in order to improve the calendar.
Because we don't need 2 American ones.
And add in the 3 races as well. That brings the calendar down to around about 18, which is the actual point. And
That's
actually,
10 we could live.
You've reminded me, I actually wrote a best-of calendar, sort of a dream calendar I would like to see. I wrote it a while ago. I'm just going to have a look if it's here somewhere. Can't remember where it is. Anyway, time's on the board as Leclerc's still top, Russell's still second. Stroll's coming to the line now, Meg, so just give us a thing while I get this out.
Right, so Stroll comes to the line and does... Oh, did not improve very well. It was a 123.421.
Okay, so here is my calendar that I would give in order for what is, I think, the 18 best races on the calendar. We start the season in Bahrain at Shakir. Then we go to South Africa at the Karlami circuit. Round 3, we go to Baku in Azerbaijan, because it'll still be warm that time of the year.
Oh, lock up from
Tsunoda, who is now 10th down at turn 1, just avoiding the barriers.
It still did a better lap time than Lance did.
Are you ready for this? So it's Bahrain, followed by South Africa, then go to Azerbaijan and Baku for round 3. Emilia-Romagna round 4 at Imola. Monaco is round 5. Austria is round 6. Canada is round 7. The United States is round 8, but at the Circuit of the Americas. Then the Americas Grand Prix is round 9. Now, I've put the Americas Grand Prix because that can be any track in the United States. Year on year, we will travel to a different circuit inside of America.
I'd love to see an oval.
To give a track. Yeah, we get Indianapolis on the road course. We get Road America, Mid-Ohio, tracks like that. So that is the Americas Grand Prix. Then it's back home. Round 10 of the season takes us to Silverstone. Hungary's round 11. Belgium's round 12. Italy's round 13. Malaysia is round 14 of the season at Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, look at that green.
It's a visor, yeah. So Malaysia's round 14 at Kuala Lumpur, but it's a night race. Not a day race, it's a night race. Then we go over to Singapore round 15. Australia is round 16. Japan is round 17, but alternating between Suzuka and Fuji. And then the last round of the season, round 18, is Brazil in Interlagos to round out the year, just like normal.
I like that.
18 races, a complete calendar of all the best ones in the world.
I like that.
Thank you. And let's go to the chat to see what's going on here, as Josh finally got rid of all those things in the chat. So cheers, Josh. Gwenwyn says, fix it. Aussie Bay, give us one more Adelaide or Western Australian Grand Prix. New Zealand would be so bad. I did think if we can't stay at Melbourne, maybe alternate between Melbourne and Adelaide. I would love to see Adelaide back as a Formula 1 race.
I wonder if they have one in the capital.
Sydney, they did want one.
No,
but
it's not in Sydney.
Oh, where's the capital now? Perth?
It begins with a C.
Gwenwyn, capital of Australia, please. Russell Radio, as he's on the team over turn 1.
That was strange. Big rear lock. That'd be a rear lock.
Hold on.
Rear lock, yeah. So, Melbourne Street Circuit, yeah, so Albert Park, Melbourne or Adelaide, just one of the two. Gwenwyn says, it will be so bad as an opinion, but doesn't know the market is there, yeah.
That's it.
What is it?
That's what I was trying to remember.
Canberra.
Yeah.
Has it changed?
No.
I thought it was Sydney.
Everyone just thinks it's Sydney or Melbourne because it's the most talked about and one of the biggest cities. So
Adelaide is as well.
Yeah.
Hot take, Josh. I'm starting to grow on 2 USA races, but not Miami doesn't work.
Well, it's a misconception.
Well, I forgot. We've got Las Vegas next year, but honestly, that second America's race,
drives are going to be gambling.
Yeah, if we do America, and also that calendar is designed to be best so it minimises air travel. So, like, the races are grouped in segments so that we can go from one to the other with minimising air travel around the world. Like, popping over to Canada, then popping back to Europe, then popping back over to America again. We don't do that.
Sense.
Yeah. So that's sort of like a streamlined calendar starting in Bahrain and sort of working its way around the globe from there. So you do, like, one circle rather than about 4 or 5.
Rather than...
Yes, all the way around, yeah. That was from Canberra. That's what Josh put as well. And ACT is a bad opinion, Megan. Nothing resides there other than the Parliament House. It's a deserted place as well. No transport whatsoever, buses around. The only thing in Adelaide I can think of would be good as a Formula E circuit now. And we've got the Clipsal 500 back anyway as well, the Adelaide 500. So maybe throw in as well that circuit for Formula E. But look, 18 races there on the calendar. And I think what I created, I thought was a great calendar, concise,
I liked
brilliant.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it saves
was there
fuel.
was there any race there you were thinking, oh, I'm glad that's not there?
Not really.
Precisely, because
I always like a German Grand Prix.
Yeah, I did want to add in the German Grand Prix at
Though it's
Hockenheim,
kind
but
of
can't be done.
difficult to get that because it depends on
I
things.
did consider throwing in
Like
another.
whether they want us to.
I did consider throwing in another 2 races that would have put it up to 20 races, but I thought I wanted to keep it 18. I was going to put in the European Grand Prix, which could be any racetrack in Europe, a bit similar to what we got with Americas, and then an Asia Grand Prix, which is any racetrack in Asia we can go to. Like bringing back Kuala Lumpur and that lot. But
Do you know-
because
do
we
you know
haven't,
which-
we never had an Asian Grand Prix. We had a Pacific Grand Prix before.
I used to know from though which continent has the most countries, and I think it's 54 countries. I can't remember whether it's Africa or Asia. I think it's Africa.
Probably would be Asia, wouldn't it?
No, I think it's Africa.
Really? Should we hear from the world? Oh, actually, that's not what we need to hear about here. I'm trying to find actually where we've got this thing from. Lewis Hamilton. Okay, here it is. Let's hear from Charles Leclerc now, actually, as well, and what he thinks coming into this weekend, as well after his spin back at the French Grand Prix. He's
Yeah, it's
talking-
Africa.
Oh, it's Africa, okay. He's talking with Ted Kravitz.
That one's good, isn't it? Because you get the chance
54
most of the time. There's another race if you have a bad race to put the record straight. You were very quick through that Le Beausset corner all weekend, 10 kph quicker than the Red Bull. That's where you were getting the speed on the Red Bull. And part of your skill is that you're able to live with a slightly lively rear of the car, all contributed. Are you thinking of revising that a bit?
No, because I think that's what gave me the edge in most of the races this year, in a way that I felt very good with the car. At the beginning of the year, I didn't really know how to manage it well in some tracks, like Miami. I struggled massively in the race, but overall I felt I got better and better with it. So it's definitely something that I want to keep for sure. Because there are loads of benefits of having it. The downside that comes with it is that it's much more difficult to drive, but at the end I'm a racing driver and I need to be able to drive a car that is a bit more versatile, which I do. It's just that this time I pushed a bit too much on that lap and paid the price for it. Now, having said that, that's it. It's past. I need to move on, and I'll focus 100% for this race, try to do the best possible. I think the best possible reaction is to win this weekend, and that's exactly what I will try to do.
Was there anything weird? Because it looked like you could have, if you could have reversed out with got the throttle right, you could have carried on because it was probably only the front wing. What was going on? Was there something related to the issue in Austria?
No, nothing to do with that. It's just a normal safety. I mean, you've got less torque with certain gears, with the reverse gear, and I think it's the same for every team. And for us, we just had a bit of a problem with that, but it's okay.
And just finally, Charles, it's not a case that Ferrari have spent a couple of years not being in a championship challenge like Mercedes, like Red Bull, and that they don't know how to win championships, right? They know how to win championships. You know how to put championships together. You're ready, whether it happens this year or doesn't, it might or might not, but you feel you're ready.
I do feel I'm ready. Then if I look the first part of the season especially, I think it's been my strongest season ever in Formula One. I think in the race especially I did another step up, which is good in terms of tire management. Mistakes like last weekend still shows that I've got some way to go, but I'm getting there, and I know what's my worth. Then of course in moments like last Sunday everybody puts you down, and this is not easy, but that's fine, it's part of the job. And now now I just need to focus on myself, grow from that, and show everybody what I'm worth.
Good stuff. Thank you.
So that's Charles Leclerc then, as well as we've lost our timings at the present moment. Oh, they're back again. Whether or not that's actually going to work. But Ted's going to save us.
They were doing aero testing, but now they're not. So now they're putting soft tyres on Lance Stroll's, just on an outlap, on brand new red sidewalled soft tyres. We don't know the fuel level. And Sebastian Vettel is just making some final changes to his setup and is about to go out. They're going to put some aero paint, some Flovis paint on the rear wing as well to see how that works. And I don't know, Rach, Anthony, Johnny, if you were Aston Martin and you thought your rear wing, your armchair rear wing was amazing and you wanted to keep it under wraps, would you run 80 kilos of fuel in the tank at all times?
Yes, maybe.
Put other teams off the scent and run.
Yeah, I
want to
see the carnage if something happens.
I think I would.
To be fair, what would you do, Megan? Would you run that time?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought you might. I might as well, actually. It just makes more sense.
I like to live on the edge when it comes to things. I just like to well, if it can't be done, then at least we'll know about it.
It's one or the other. It's not both. It's one or the other. As well. Reminder what we got coming up here today on the YouTube channel. It's only 3 sessions today. It's F1, FP1 and FP2 and then Formula E's first practice session. We're live for all of Formula E this weekend for the pure reason is 1, it's easier for you to all see the big moments of the session because we won't have time to edit them into a pre-show.
We won't.
And 2, it's the British round of the championship, so it's just easier. It's
also,
easier.
For Joshua's own sanity, he cannot edit more things this weekend.
I can't because I've literally got no time.
I'm not going to see him Monday.
Why?
Because you're just going to be passed out in your room.
Yes, I will be just asleep all day.
I'll see him Wednesday morning, probably.
Yes, pretty much, actually, yeah. Literally, we have got from tomorrow, because even I thought, there's a nice gap between FP3 and Formula E's Race 1. Completely forgot about the W Series being in between that.
Sometimes I forgot that it was on this weekend, too.
Yeah, there's so much.
Because I think it should be a 2-week gap between each.
Yeah.
To spread it more out in the season. But no. You have to go the week after, which doesn't make sense because there's so many things on.
Nobody makes any sense as well. This entire weekend is
You'd think they'd
crazy.
talk.
We've even got the Spa 24 hours. Well, we're not commentating on that, luckily, but the Spa 24 hours on this weekend.
You'd think motorsports would talk, just like, okay, so I know you want views, I know I want views, everyone wants views. So let's just do it at times, we're not overlapping each other.
Let's go over to Rachel, because she's on the pit wall with someone.
Forecast of rain tomorrow and cooler temperatures on Sunday. How much have you had to adjust them?
Hi everyone. On the plans, in fact, no changes. We are running our normal plan that we're normally doing on the free practice 1 and 2, so it will be for the FP1 but FP2 as well. So running on soft new tires, quite low fuel in the morning, high fuel from the restaurant just to check the car, check the balance, verify everything is okay and progress from there. So we are keeping constant plan, let's say, whatever will be tomorrow the weather forecast.
Matteo, that looked good lap from Carlos because that wasn't on a fresh set of tyres. Looks as if you've got a very well balanced car around this circuit.
It's already too early. I think there is much to come. Carlos is comfortable not only with the car today, I think with the track. Already last year he was fast here in Hungary, so I think he's feeling well with that circuit. But certainly it's great to see him there. He made a good lap. I'm pretty sure that Charles can be close as well. But as usual, the fight and the battle with the Red Bull and Max very close.
Mattia, can I just ask you, how was the debrief after France?
Debrief was certainly difficult. The mood was not great. Charles went back home soon after and stayed home, really tried to relax and stay focused for Hungary. So he's back. I think he want to do well. I think he already turned page, forgot about Paul Ricard, and I'm pretty sure he can do a great race here. He's fast at the moment, he's in good shape, and he can prove that I think he can win.
Great. Thank you very much, Mattia, for joining us across the weekend.
Megan.
How do they fit all those cameras all there?
I think that's coming off the front camera angle, which is supposed to be there. They give it a little FIA regulations, but that's some brilliant things on board with Vettel's car. Looking at the suspension rods on the exit there. Look at the push rod and pull rod suspensions.
They must have to replace so many of them.
One crash, bang. I think that's the first time I've seen on that car. Sainz is top then, 118.750. Verstappen second, 132. Well, actually, that's wrong timings. So 118.880.
I do hate how it always just shows the recent times.
Yeah, but my crack's on the television there. I've got to make that joke every single time. And this is Schumacher being blocked up. Oh. Lance Stroll went all 4 ways off the track and jumped over the curb. This is what he said on the radio. Well, he went over the rumble strips, but unfortunately, Sky showed us that replay failed to show us the Mick Schumacher one. Here it is.
What is it with them staying on the race line?
Yeah, copy.
Well, Mick,
it was Leclerc.
It's a line you're meant to race on.
Second, third, fourth.
You know.
George on the radio there. Yeah, that was not Carlos Sainz who held in there. That was Charles Leclerc, the only of the drivers out on the track. So he's been having a few issues out there. 7:40 to go in this session. Gremlin says, look at the driver track. Leclerc is out there, Max isn't. Surely 25 points in the bag. We can only hope if Leclerc wins this weekend. What we need is for Leclerc to win the next 3 races and Max not to score in 2. And then
Someone
have
needs to
bad
crash
points.
into him.
Yeah.
Perez.
He can win the Dutch Grand Prix.
Perez can crash into him though, not go out.
This is Carlos Sainz, currently fastest out there on the circuit, just making a couple of manoeuvres out there as well on a good lap time. It was a
Check the
1:18.750.
pit board. Check the pit board. There'll be 7 timed remaining.
That is Schumacher as well. As Josh has actually mentioned some good race director's notes from race 2. To help mitigate any differences in speed, cars on, out or slow laps are required to stay offline wherever possible between turns 11 and the first safety car line. And the first safety car line is just coming out of turn 13 and that last sector as well. So out of turn 11, which is the back half as well from where Albon's just going through now on your driver tracker. So that is what's happening there on the board as Megan goes to check outside the commentary box something as well. It's always a whole movie start, isn't it? As Perez 6th fastest, just going smoother at the moment, a bit wide out of turn 11 as well for himself. And Stroll having a bumpy
6-4
ride.
timed. How's the balance?
Yeah, it's a bit understeer, but it's okay.
Schumacher on the radio there, being told a little bit of bumping as well. Hopefully our driver tracker will be back for practice too. Yes, so it's a different weekend. Josh Plays joins me in the comms box for free practice 2. Free practice 3 tomorrow morning will be myself and guest. Qualifying with Megan Birch and Ian Birch. And the race on Sunday will be with myself, Josh Plays, and special guest as well, which will be announced tomorrow via Twitter, as well as Sergio. Oh, and on the YouTube communications chat. And this is Perez being blocked off there by, I think, comically enough, Mick Schumacher, who was staying on the racing line through turn 13. So even Mick Schumacher is not having a good position as well. Did you just say forgot his phone? Yes, thought so.
Okay, recharge on. Yeah, he's at high fuel. It's a bit of a mixed bag out there at the moment, so.
Yeah, Perez being held up there as well. Synthol should be joining me for a few of the support races this weekend. Obviously not the F2 sprint race because you and Dad are doing that, Megs. So as well, as Alonso just gets out of the way on his birthday. But he should be joining me for at least 2 of the races, I think. I can't quite remember. Josh, get rid of that person because then I'll block. Hey, Josh is on it right away.
I'm just going to report.
I don't even need to say Josh is on that the chat modders immediately as well. Thanks, Josh. As always, who's behind the scenes in this first practice session due to the tech. With the driver tracker never working and having to use the screen, we can't ever have Josh on first practice at the moment, but we are trying to work our way around that. Hopefully soon, actually, with the new cable we brought recently, we can have him on. If the camera ever detects it as well. Wanting another one. Anyway.
Can't report.
I think Josh is already reporting.
Good.
Megan, just say hello for a second, would you please, my dear?
Hello.
No, on the YouTube chat.
I can't, remember?
Why, you're not signed in on your phone?
I technically don't have an account officially, remember?
I thought I reactivated that.
No, because I told you not to.
Oh.
Because I don't care. If I can subscribe to people and like videos, that's all I care about. I don't need a proper account.
But how? Hang on. If you can't subscribe to people, if you
I can subscribe.
Oh, and Alonso's got off the track at turn 11, but continues.
I can subscribe.
Yeah,
I
but
can I can add to watch playlist.
But that means you have an account. I don't see why you can't log in with it. That's weird.
I know what it is, though it's difficult to explain to other people. Again, Josh, deal with it.
Let's have a look at Fernando Alonso. What's happened to your mic? It suddenly got louder. There we go.
It's closer to my face.
Yeah.
I'm angry now.
This is why we need lip mics. So it's the perfect distance. We don't have to change anything. But knowing you, you'd find a way, because you've just gone right through my eardrum on one side.
Don't I always?
Yeah, but not good.
I've been doing that ever since I was a baby, and I sounded like a goat crying.
You did sound like a goat crying, to be fair, as a baby.
Why did I?
No idea. No idea. Anyway.
The funny thing is, I'm really good at of imitating a goat.
AMK Ski says, well, I've been up all night. My word, my friend. I hope you're okay as well. Is that by choice, being up all night? So I'm going to use this as an excuse why I'm up so early. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, practice one, commentary. That's the perfect excuse as to why you're up so early. Everyone, a die-hard, dedicated fan. But I hope you actually get some sort of sleep in the next couple of hours as well, or at some point have an early night or so. Because don't
we need to
want
cool
sleep
also the
deprived.
PU, so more lift and coast.
Or sleep like Wednesday Addams.
Really?
So we're over
my
limit
friend Heather.
plus 100 meters of lift and coast.
Or you.
We're literally throwing this run out of a window. I'm on the hards here.
I look like I'm dead when I sleep.
You do.
I barely breathe, I go all cold, and I don't move.
We always know when Megan's starting to fall asleep because her cheeks go completely bloodless as well. Now, they're warm, but when you fall asleep, Megan, they go like a baby's cheek. They just sort of go like flat. Oh, Russell Radio.
It's generally
So we need to increase lift and coast for front calipers. And we need to cool also the PU, so more lift and coast.
Really?
So we're over limit plus 100 meters of lift and coast.
We're literally throwing this run out of a window. I'm on the hards here.
This isn't good. We heard that radio a second ago. Russell's having a lot of problems with his power unit in this session as well. And have you noticed as well,
Not good for the race.
Mercedes may not have side pods, but I can see a couple more veins appearing on the top of the
I was
Coke.
thinking that earlier.
Yeah, the Coke or the engine cooler as well is what they call it at the top there. So just on the back of the engine cover as well, just a few more veins like a shark's fin. Like the gills starting to come up as well. And so it should be. Air temperature's 32 degrees there. Track temperature 50 degrees as well.
It's only 26 though, so that's
Yeah. Hey, I know it's because the 20 seconds to the checker flag, but the driver tracker has worked in this practice session quite well, actually.
It has.
Yeah, it's not been failed with 20 minutes to go, and luckily the other one started. Then again, the other one hasn't even started yet, I don't think. I bet if I slide over, it'll be working. Oh, yeah, look, there we go, look. Slide over and the other one's working.
I'm going to look up why some people look dead when they sleep.
I wouldn't do that for Googling that.
Increase lift and coast for
I Google
front
things like this all
calipers.
the time, it's fine.
And we need to cool also the PU,
Checker flags
so
out.
more lift and coast.
Really?
So we're over limit plus 100 meters of lift and coast.
So the checker...
Literally throwing this run out of a window. I'm on the hards here.
So the checkered flag is out. The session has now concluded. That's quite worrying, Megan. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm worried.
What? It's not worrying.
She has done
I'm
it
going
since
to
she
be
was
a
a baby.
homicide detective.
Yeah, so she has to sleep in a coffin.
Yeah, I have to pretend. I have to just get myself into a mindset.
Oh, dear. I'm very worried. Okay, great news is the driver tracker has started working, our normal driver tracker. So free practice 2 will return to that normal setup as well. But well done to the F1.com, which is actually on my iPad for actually keeping this timing on. What is going on? Megan's a lunatic as well, and we won't see Megan now until she's leading the
That's
commentary
checkered
later.
flag. That's checkered flag. That's a really good lap given the traffic. It's tough. People out of phase on high fuel, but that's a good turn 1-2 and a good lap given the traffic.
Just double checking who that was from there, that team radio. That was from Lance Stroll as well. He was the last one there on the team radio. Yeah, Megan will be back with me for first practice of Formula E at 5:10 British Summer Time as well later on today. And practice 2, myself and Josh Plays will be together in the commentary box as well. The permanent team this weekend is myself and Josh. We'll be commentating on the majority of the
Question.
sessions. Megan.
Have you ever felt my heartbeat when I'm asleep?
Yes, we did check.
Was it low?
No. Well, yes and no. Why?
I just want to know, what would you say it is? Was it?
It was a beat every 2 seconds. A normal resting heartbeat.
My heart usually beats quicker than that.
Yes, I know. Your heart, if I put my hand there right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's beating quite fast.
And I don't have high blood pressure either.
And on your other heart, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's the thing about the way, Megan. She has a normal heart, but then she has a weird echo that on the other side of her chest, which for some reason...
I think we can hear my heartbeat echoing back, so it's really difficult to take my...
Because it sounds like a separate heartbeat. That's why it always sounds like a separate heartbeat. Like she's got 2 hearts. So we call her the Time Lord as well.
And it's not just Joshua saying this. Mum's even said this.
Everybody, as the practice starts now begin on the grid, everybody said it. Yeah.
Everyone who's ever listened to my heartbeat has said this.
Should we take a look at Lando Norris? I think, actually, I'm trying to work out who's on the grid who hasn't done a practice start yet, who I want to look at. Alexander Albon is someone I want to look at as well, if I can get his telemetry up.
My heartbeat's actually quite calm today.
Where is it on the map?
First, Williams, so you can pick your side. You were 4% deep on the first start target.
Let's take a look then, Megs. Alexander Albon. We've opened him up for the start here on the track because I think he's still on the grid. Yeah, here he is. Look, building up to around about 10,000 revs per second, and away he goes. Drops the clutch, casually builds up the throttle, casually builds up the revs as well. Should we look at Alonso, Megan?
Yeah.
Here's Fernando Alonso then on the interval. He's got away good. Should we look at Max Verstappen, unless he's gone already? Yes, he has. Let's have a look at Magnussen and compare him to Sainz. So Magnussen at the top, Sainz at the bottom. Magnussen gets a good getaway as well. Carlos Sainz, Megs, he's last one away. Got a good getaway as well on the telemetry data. So not a bad session there in total. Quite a competitive run there, but as you can see, it is Carlos Sainz's fastest. He's done 1:18.750 as he breaks in towards turn number 1. Okay, let's take a look then at the results for this first practice session from the Hungarian Grand Prix, because so much once again has happened. It's been yet another dramatic one as well. It's Carlos Sainz who's gone fastest. It's Max Verstappen second. Third for Charles Leclerc. Fourth for Lando Norris. Fifth for George Russell. Sixth is Sergio Perez. Seventh is Lewis Hamilton. Eighth, Daniel Ricciardo. Ninth, Esteban Ocon. And 10th is Fernando Alonso. 11th for Sebastian Vettel. 12th, Lance Stroll. 13th, Pierre Gasly. 14th is Yuki Tsunoda. 15th, Zhou Guanyu. 16th, Alexander Albon. 17th is Kevin Magnussen. 18th for Mick Schumacher. Robert Kubica, the only Friday driver in, was 19th. And Nicholas Latifi is 20th. You can join us again then here for the session. As the last cars come into the grid as well. We can join us at 3:45 British time as well for all of the action. Josh says, Megan's a lunatic and my eyes are burning staring at the chat. Yeah, you need to go and
I think
have a bit of a relax. Megan, what have you
my
found?
metabolic rate drops really, really low. And apparently, since a night is colder than a day, my body temperature being kept higher would cost more energy. So my body just really doesn't care whether I'm cold or not. So when I sleep, it just doesn't show any energy into like keeping up my temperature.
Okay, fair dues.
Which explains why I get so cold sometimes. I'm always cold, remember?
Okay. Well, I'll see you later for Formula E, and
my body purposely doesn't like me feeling warm.
I need bathroom. So, we'll see you later on for free practice 1 of Formula E. Myself and Josh Plays will be back for free practice 2. Tomorrow, Megan will be leading quite a lot of the day as well, alongside myself, with Megan leading Formula E quality, Formula E race, or Formula 1 quality as well, Formula 2 race. I'll then be back on with everything else. Megan on Sundays, I think you're leading FE quality and FE race 2, aren't you? So you're in full command on Sunday.
Don't forget W Series.
Oh, and the W Series tomorrow as well. That's at 1:20 UK time for the green light. Thanks for your company then here, Megs. We'll see you later on here from Practice 2. Bye for now.